I record again. The next question I wanted to ask you is how does your company approach customer acquisition and retention? I think you covered this a bit already.
Sorry, I didn't hear the last thing you said.
How does your customer approach acquisition and retention?
Um, it's and you do mean that in contact with the Van Marke College? Eh?
Yes,
It's
I'm
how you
only
see it.
talking about college. Only college.
Yeah, first you have to understand one thing. That's how do our customers, our specific customers, how do they approach how do they look at training? Know that in our sector, training is it's a how do they see it? They're not they don't see it always as useful. Okay, they don't always see it as useful training. Besides the mandatory trainings and like the certificated trainings, that is something they see as that's not, and then it's what are the criteria to come back to you, or how that's convenience. That's convenience. Like I said, we have 3 really good equipped training centers, France, Kortrijk, and Zaventem. But you notice that in the south of the country, for an example, that's already less easy to approach those guys. Even that we do have a really good marketing. For them, the first criterion is that convenience that they look at. So on the retention level, I do notice that the customers who have access to that good convenience, so near to them, that are customers that are always coming back. They're always coming back to us on the level of retention. The ones that are a little bit further away of that convenience, then it's more difficult to. Then they go shop. It's very easy. Then they go shop. Where can I have a training much closer to where I live, for an example? So retention level is good. They do come back, but I simply notice distance location is very important. That's one of the things that have today a very big impact on retention, convenience, and of course the quality as well. I wouldn't say that quality has no impact on that. If you give bad trainings, of course they will never come back. Even convenience is good, but it's location, like real estate. Location is everything.
Okay.
That's a good answer to your question.
So what would be the most important factors to Van Marke College's financial success?
Say again?
What would be the most important factors for Van Marke College's financial success?
The financial success.
Yes, to become break even or to become, yeah. So,
well, first goal is break even.
Yeah.
That's the first goal. We are now absolutely not break even.
Is
Far
it-
away from it. Far away.
Is it improving? because I saw some numbers from 2017, which were, I think, a cost of 690,000 for a year, and then it was 20,000 in revenue or something like that. How is the
No,
revenue? It was more? Yeah,
it's
it was
yeah,
400,000 in
it's a
revenue.
little but it's listen, we are in depth now. You must count about 300,000 a year
That's the
to the
loss.
50.
And
Yeah, minus, yes.
and the income from sales and the income from Van Mark, how much is that?
You so keep it running. Van
Mhm.
Markecollege, where are the main costs? The costs are in of course, that's like everywhere, employees, that's me and my team.
Mhm.
We cost some money. You got the maintenance. Well, it's much easier. We just had budget revenue. Sorry, I'm not looking at you now because I have my second screen,
No
which
problem,
is
no
there.
problem.
So I can give you a quite.
I was thinking also for my research to maybe come at Van Marker College and see if you can give me some more information that I can use for my thesis.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great. And then we can discuss the things that you think are confidential or sensitive. There's no problem in changing the numbers for the thesis.
So yeah. Come on. So there it is. So we had from recuperation. Well, I'm going to give you now the numbers. The 2021. But it's not really relevant because in 2000 the most because 2019, 20, 21, especially 2021, you had COVID, so it's not really representative. 2022 neither, and there we were at a loss at minus 402,000 euros.
Okay.
And the income was 44,000.
44,000. Okay. Yeah.
The main, like I said, the main that's always that's the personnel which costs the most. But as well, we rent locations. And I know we are part of America, but not part that is we rent locations. So if I use my location in Zaventem, for an example, I rent it. But as well, like I said, the equipment that we have, all the materials, all the devices that we have. There we have the advantage that we receive them, but they have to be placed by someone, they have to be maintained. You need maintenance that costs money. But the big part is like we call it the white collar, and that's the personnel cost. That's a big one.
So yeah, the revenue didn't it did grow twice as much, right? From 2017.
No,
Did
no, that's always been a little bit. In 2017, the revenue was 75,000.
Oh,
Yes, 2018, the revenue was 114,000.
okay. So Okay, that's interesting. And how come it's decreased this much?
COVID,
COVID, yeah, and this year
COVID,
as well.
yes, simply COVID, COVID, and now this year, now
Yeah.
last year as well was yeah, they were starting up again. We didn't have really the COVID issue, but everything was starting up again. So 2022 wasn't either very good, and now 23 we don't expect much much improvement because we're working. You must count that we're working now 6 months, quite entirely for SAP introduction in the company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we don't do very much more than just SAP. Yeah,
Um,
that's what it is. So all the other trainings are a little bit on hold.
okay.
You must just to give you an idea, the impact of you know that we are introducing SAP. That's a responsibility of Amaga. We do
Mm-hmm.
facilitate, like I said, we work much, very much for internally. Okay, just to give you an idea, in sessions a week that we give now. Do you have an idea? Just a guess.
Of
In sessions in
what?
1 week. So we are organizing now the SAP trainings
Oh,
for the
for
people
all the
in.
employees of Denmark.
Yes, that's what
Ah,
we are organizing now
ah,
since January.
okay, okay,
Just
okay, 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 okay.
do a guess
Now I
how
see.
much how much sessions courses that we do a week now. Just
A week. Um, I would say 8 times 5, 40, 40 sessions a week.
160 sessions a week
Wow,
in
wow.
20 different locations. And a session can be an entire day, can be half a day, but we organizing now 100 sessions, 160 sessions a week. In a normal week, in a normal year, in trainings, we have about 30, 40 trainings that we do a week, internally, externally. So we are now times 4. So you can imagine that at this time, at this point, we don't have really much time to organizing other courses for paying customers. We just don't have, we don't have the logistics, we don't have the manpower. All classes are taken now. So it's you see, so the numbers this year won't be very won't be very hopeful. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, yeah, I didn't know that it was all college doing these sessions. Yeah.
Yeah, we organize all that. So we people you have to see the entire flow.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, like I said, we have 1,500 people who have to be trained now in SAP. 800 of them very intensively. So we if I take a point of sales for an example, there are 4 people in that point of sales. Those 4 people must be trained. Yeah, you can't close a point of sales because one for giving you an idea, the point of sales, they need about 20 days of training completely. 20 days of training.
So
But you
much.
can't close, yes, you can't close a point of sales during 20 days. So that means you have to pull somebody away from that point of sales. So instead of 4, they are with 3, but all 4 have to follow those main courses. So it is if I show you the planning about that, you say that is enormously come as work.
But it's so astonishing that they need that it's 20 days of training. It seems so much.
It is very much, yes, yes. Yeah, it's enormous. It's huge. It's huge. It's
Wow.
huge. Yeah. Not much people can it's so abstract, it's really huge. Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough year for the company then when I hear all these days being spent on training.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. There is much the stress level is quite high with people now for the moment.
Mhm.
Stresslessness, yeah, it's quite high. Yeah. I can't. Yeah, it's. But you do need to do this. You can't. You need to do a change like that has to be in. You can't take 2, 3, 4 years to do that. It's impossible. You have to do it in the most short periods as possible. And it
Yeah.
was already delayed. The go live with SAP is already delayed now with two months. So normally it was the go live in, I think, uh, yeah, at Easter somewhere, and now it's the end of May, which is already delayed because just the training took. People get sick, people get ill. And somebody is enrolled in a certain session of SAP, and 2 days before he has to do something private, so you have to change sessions. It's a really it's a quite a big puzzle. Yes. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ah,
So
that's a job as well. That you see that the job of a market college is also doing that.
yeah,
This is one of the biggest projects of a market college ever in the history of a market college.
yeah,
I can assure you.
yeah, I can imagine. So many people, so many trainings. Yeah.
And
So
don't forget that, and it's for
yeah.
SAP. So all the other trainings, the mandatory trainings for the products are all on hold now. So we have to catch up after SAP. We have to catch up. So the whole training pressure on the people is not yet finished. Is not yet finished because the company keeps on working, and new products keeps on coming, new technologies keeps on coming, but we can't train those people now at the moment. So but there has to be trained, so we have to catch up after SAP.
Mm. Okay, so yeah, now it's a very unique situation with also COVID and
Yes.
all the other things that have been happening. But I'm really interested in seeing Market College grow into a self-sustaining profit center, independent company in the future. And this is also mostly the direction I want to go in with my thesis. So I would like to ask you more like about a dilemma you might have had during your experience and at Market College that is more related to the business side of it. I know
What do you
it's
mean with that question?
so yeah, the you Vamarka has also the college has also like paying customers, and you for the college you always have to make decisions as a manager, but sometimes some decisions are difficult, and are maybe even a dilemma, because you don't necessarily know which direction is better, and this is also the thing I want to do some research on,
With,
so
so in fact the difficulties I'm coped with I'm going to see if I can translate your question. The difficulties I'm coped with for making Van Marken College a self-sustaining organization.
Yes.
That's or the
Yes.
difficulties I will be coped with.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, again, some background information that you have to understand. An installer or our customers, they are not very keen on training. That's one thing. They're not, and that has to do with time. Time. We have very big shortage on the market on heating installers. So the heating installers that we have now are very charged with just their day-to-day business, which is installing with people. So training, they see it, they consider it now as a loss of time. For them, it's a loss of time. The only trainings that they see that where they choose now for, and where we can that are paid and that the installer has to be paid is all which is certified. That trainings that they have to do in order to do something, and they want to go for heat pumps. I keep with the example from heat pumps. Okay, they need a certain certification, but you have to understand as well the limitations of that. We are not the only ones who give those types of trainings. We're not the only ones. And the pool of potential installers is also very small. It's small, it is limited, very simple. At one point, all the installers will be trained. Are with us, or with somebody else. If then there is no more other mandatory trainings or mandatory certificates which are asked by the government, for an example, theoretically, it's finished with paid trainings. Okay. So you have to look at, okay, and it's not very likely that it will happen in the short future, but it is something that will happen. It's something which is possible. All the installers are trained, and there are no more mandatory trainings or courses. Same finished. So you have to look somewhere else at your income. And it's not only me. At this point, the second type of trainings, which are the trainings by the brands, a brand who gives a training about his products, they are not paid. They are free for the installers, because the brand sees that as a service towards his customer. Because don't forget, the brands themselves have also training centers. If I look at one of our suppliers, which is Bulex Vaillant, they have a training center which is wow, which is really wow. It's just one brand, but it's wow. An installer don't want to pay to go to there. So you're not only so you're coped with not only the fact that you have competition by your supplier, because another way of having money or receiving money for installers is to let them pay for branded trainings. They just won't do that. They just won't do that, because they can follow the same training with the brand themselves. So the only way to cope with that is, and that's like I said now, is develop a type of trainings which are really unique in the market. That's like the example I gave you, the combined trainings. Nobody does that. Well, there I should, or I'm considering in every case, to make them paid. It has to do as well, and that's I worked as well in Holland, where you are now. There, a brand which organize a training, it's not for free. In Holland, you pay for the branded trainings in Holland. So there you see as well, it has to do with the culture of the installer, and that's different land by land. So in Belgium, it's not yet really common that you ask money for a training by a supplier. That's not very common. In Holland, there it's common. In France, not common. Absolutely not common that you ask money for a branded training. No. I only see the solution now or the long-term solution. I see one, just using the fact that at this moment there's still certified trainings, offer a much broader, a wider paid trainings for that are certified. So like I said, I have now 5 certified trainings. Well, just look, what can I give more that can be paid? So there I look, see one solution. And second solution is the offer that I will develop more combined trainings, or trainings that others can do, where you give an answer to another issue where the installer is confronted with, that is time and mobility. So if I can give there some solutions, that I see is a possible way out of becoming a self-sustaining center. More certified trainings, and trainings which are unique in the market, really unique in the market.
And partially doing what is possible through e-learning, because some things I understand are really a manual work, but also some things like regulation is not. Maybe having an app where you can exercise and do all
One
what
of
is
the projects,
possible.
one of the projects I'm working on now. So I told you already about the VR thing, that it's something that you can do at home. VR technology. The guy put his goggles on and he's gone, so he couldn't do that as well. So there, but that's a long time. But as another event, the e-learnings that we develop now, that was really that were the homemade e-learnings. See, like that was the trainer did that in front of his laptop, and it was a camera of the laptop, so not really professional. But one of the things I will do, and that is the added value, is if I can increase the quality of my e-learnings, people might be willing to pay. So one of the projects, if SAP is done, is a digital lab, is developing a digital lab where we can really make much higher professional quality of trainings, which is not just for, and I say it might be able to sell them to installers, that they really pay for following it. But secondly, that I might sell to other training companies. So I develop the training and I sell them to other training companies. That is also a possibility, I see. But for that, you need high quality trainings, not the way that we do it now. Now it's really and I don't just look at me. I see that as well at suppliers. Their way of e-learnings are also not very high level or high quality. Not all of them, and there are some major players who give really top quality e-learnings, but the majority is still very very homemade, I call it. But if I can be the first one to have a digital lab, where even our suppliers can rent my lab, that could be a possibility as well to make their trainings. Also, that could be a possible way for to become a profitable. Yeah. So there, I see much possibilities, but it's and I never see problems. I believe also in the trial and error. I try something. Does it work? Hooray! Doesn't work? Okay, bad luck. We try something else. And that's the possibility. I think there's a possibility I have as well with Van Marker College. I can do that. I'm allowed to do the trial and error things. So I can try developing a high level quality technical training. I can try to sell it. If it doesn't work, okay, let's do something else. So
Okay,
it's
so
the biggest bottleneck now I see is in Belgium is the culture of our customer.
okay.
He's not willing to pay for trainings, technical trainings who are not certified.
And are you, do you have any plans or ways to use the service of Van Marke service and training those people to, because I strongly believe in using this college to create a certain accreditation for the people, so that they are considered to be true professionals in their fields, and that they could perhaps have a label saying, okay, they're Van Marke certified, and that is a reputable achievement.
I like the idea. I did the idea already.
Okay,
I did it already.
nice.
In my previous experience for the oil sector,
Mm-hmm.
we created a label Mazout Expert.
Mm-hmm.
It was expert, and it was absolutely, they pay for it. Now, besides the fact that heating oil is not really the energy of the future,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it didn't have much success. Now,
And why not?
for one simple reason, and that's again, there are lots of reasons besides it. One of the reasons is, and that's the certified trainings. In fact, that's the only thing that the installer needs. He doesn't need that upper high level or more better than. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. He just doesn't need it. There are enough certifications from the government that guarantee a certain quality. That an extra label has no added value for them. So there is, you can try it, you can try it, but and that's another thing as well. Imagine now that the pool of installers is so big, is huge, yeah, that people can really pick and choose. I don't like this one, I want that. But that's not the case. That's not the case. People are happy that somebody who claims to be a professional comes to him to fix his heating or his sanitary with, I don't know, whatever. They're already happy somebody comes. They're already somebody. Besides the fact that he has a quality label, they don't. It could be nice for a little part, but it won't save your business. Won't save your business. But I like the idea. I like the idea.
Yeah, because
I like the idea.
you can also play a bit with that, and then the people that are certified, they get discounts when buying our products, so that the plumbers are only
Well,
buying our
absolutely.
products.
Well, it's an entire process. It's an entire process that where you need every part of the business has to do his part, and marketing has to do his part. But it is, I think it's worth trying. Absolutely, I think it's a great idea. But knowing the Belgium installer, yeah, he has enough work. He has enough work. He has enough work.
Mhm. I see. I see.
I know that, and I see that also. Like I said, I have 30 years of experience in our market. I know lots of installers. I really know lots of them. And I know even the ones that I know that are technically really below average, even those have waiting lists. We have to wait 1 month, 2 months to have something done. And that has to do with that pool of installers which is too small. But you always have I think I do believe as well there is still and then you have some other I think challenges in that market, and there I see something happening. That's a do-it-yourself. That's a do-it-yourself market which is increasing enormously. So people buy it themselves, and you see it also in how suppliers respond to that. You see much more plug and play technology, which is really like installing or starting a heating device up is not much more difficult than starting your new television or your new phone up. Really plug and play.
Simplification
So
is undergoing in the industry.
yeah, you see that with the suppliers. The suppliers see that as well, which is the market is people are not getting very smarter at these days. Also, installers are not getting very smarter. Also, you see how does it come that so much people go to the do-it-yourself has always has existed. So let that be clear. Do-it-yourself has always be existed, and certainly in heating. Certainly in heating is always been a market which very sensitive for do-it-yourself. One of the reasons that people also do it yourself is that the confidence in certain in installers decreases. People don't have so much more confidence in installers, so they go to do it yourself. They do it yourself. Suppliers or brands have an answer for that in the plug and play. That normal people, normal man, no installer can install a heating device. It's so easy today. It's really it's like I said, the plug and play works as well in all that stuff. But again, you will always have a certain part of the people who wants a good installer, who gives quality. I believe so hard in that. There is always a part of the people, and then your van market qualified installer can do something in that. Yeah.
I see that we again have less than a minute. I don't know if you still have time for another call. Otherwise, I
Yeah,
can
sure,
already.
absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Then I can call you again in 4 minutes. I have a delay
Yeah,
with
4 or 5 minutes. Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
It's no problem. It's cool. See you in 5 minutes.
Okay, see you in 5.